Hey guys, what's up? Mr. B again. We're day 2 of quarantine school. I hope everybody was able to understand yesterday's lesson and comment below or comment on Google Classroom if you felt like something didn't make sense to you or you need help with something. Let me know. That's what I'm here for. Otherwise, let's get right into it. Now, yesterday we finished our class on Clovis. And we're talking about how the church was getting into everybody's lives, and oh boy, is that going to happen now when we have Charlemagne. So Charlemagne is going to rule for 46 years. Now, he's the grandson of Charles Martel. Charles Martel is the person who we spoke about yesterday. He led the Franks into a war with the Muslims. Remember, it's a Christian versus Muslim type of holy war, and they leave their area and they go to the Muslims and they fight, and now they're back. There's this massive empire that spans across France, Germany, and Italy. This emperor is going to be known as, he's the grandson of Charles Martel. He's named Charlemagne. Wow, Charlemagne, one of the most famous kings in history. Charlemagne is going to love fighting, and he especially loves fighting the Muslims. He is going to be on a conquest for much of his 46-year reign and of much of the old Roman Empire. Now, Charlemagne is going to be a very interesting figure for, well, 3 specific reasons. But let's get to the first right now. The first is that Charlemagne is actually going to be named emperor. He's going to be named emperor of Rome by the Pope. Now, this goes into a lot of the theocracy that we're talking about. This goes into a lot of government and religion mixing together. Really, really, really weird when you have that, because now everything is going to be run in a very different way than you're used to. It's not necessarily going to be laws of a country. They're going to be laws of a religion that govern the country. And if the Pope can name Charlemagne as king, doesn't that make the Pope even more powerful than Charlemagne? So this is a really massive deal. This is a really massive deal. And I'm sorry, my face is on some of this right now. But now this is a huge deal. People are stressing out. It's not only that the Pope can name a king, but the Pope, by naming a king, actually unites much of Europe at the time and Rome at the time, because most everyone is Christian. So once you have the Pope coming out of nowhere and saying, hey, this is our king now, this is the guy who we're going to believe, the guy right over there, that's amazing. Everybody's like, hey, now we have one united king. There's not a king of this empire, king of that empire. There's one Roman emperor, the emperor of the church. Also, the Pope's action is really going to be great for a lot of Christians, but not all Christians, because there are Christians still in the Byzantine Empire that we talked about at the end of Rome. When Diocletian splits the empire into 2, there's going to be an Eastern and Western Rome, and the eastern part of Rome is going to be very, very, very offended by this. He's going to be like, I am a true Roman. Constantine came over here. I am a ruler from the real Romans. I am ruling in Constantine's stead after he dies, and there are more emperors, and I take over. Not some Frank who was a barbarian and is not Roman. Look at this guy. I mean, look at this guy over here. He's not like me. I am better, obviously. So they're going to be very offended by this. And it's going to lead to a huge divide between the eastern and western parts of Rome. Now, there's a video here if you want to check it out. But we move on. Now, Charlemagne tried to exercise control over as many lands and create a united Christian empire, working closely with the church. And this is going to be something that we're going to see very, very often, are these kings working with the churches, especially in the Middle Ages. We're going to see it happen a lot. And it's going to really cause a few problems, but let's get with Charlemagne so far. So he conquered people on the fringes of his empire. Fringe means like right at the border of it, right at the edge of it. He would also attempt to convert these people to Christianity after defeating them. So like other Germanic kings, Charlemagne appointed nobles to lead in his stead where he wasn't able to go, where he wasn't able to stay. This is where Charlemagne appointed a noble and said, okay, I have one guy, and I'm just going to be using examples here. We are in, well, I'm in New Jersey right now, but you guys who are watching this, well, maybe are in New York. I don't know how many people are actually going to watch this because it's on YouTube, and I got a lot more views than I thought I would. But regardless of that, let's say somebody's in New York and somebody's in New Jersey and somebody's in Milwaukee and another guy's in Los Angeles. You appoint nobles in each place and say, listen, I can't be there, but these nobles are going to be able to rule for me. To keep control of to keep control of everybody, he gave them land and soldiers from his armies. He also sent out these people called the Missi Dominici to check on the roads. And these people were kind of like Charlemagne's private police. They would go out and they would check on the nobles and the people, and they would say, how are you being treated? Do you feel like everything's going according to the law? And they would want to help and make sure everything was going according to not only the law. Remember, the law is now also the church. So are you also following the church's doctrines besides for just the law of the land? Now, Charlemagne's also going to be a huge proponent of learning. In fact, Charlemagne's actually going to set up a school inside of his castle for all the nobles that live there. It is apparently, let me just check my notes. I believe it was about 70 families. I might be wrong. Schools, as many sons and daughters and other children in court. He opens up a palace school. I don't have how many, I apologize. He also ordered monasteries to open up schools to train future monks and priests. Charlemagne founded a school in Aachen. It was under the direction of respected scholar Alcuin. Now, Alcuin was Alcuin of York. He was a famous guy in British philosophy. He created what's called a curriculum, which we use now. We use that word all the time. A set, you could say, course of study. Like, this is what we're going to be studying. Your curriculum for this year is going to be global history. So that's going to take over there. This included grammar, rhetoric, which means how can you talk with people, argue with people in a normal way, logic, arithmetic, geometry, music, astronomy. Alcuin also hired scholars to copy ancient manuscripts like the Bible and make them into Latin. So the world became a lot more educated because of Charlemagne. So Charlemagne, the Holy King, really amazing figure. That's it for today. What were Charlemagne's major achievements? Comment down below. Let's see if you can get those right. Comment, like, subscribe, follow me on Patreon. I don't have a Patreon. But hey guys, it was really fun. Just fill out the quiz on Google Forms if you are in my class. And if you aren't in my class, then it was really a pleasure teaching you. Have a great time, guys. I hope everyone's staying safe and healthy, and I will see you Monday.